Welcome to our podcast, Independent Woman with Wine, where I talk about my life, my shitty life, or others. I am drinking wine right now. The wine that I am drinking is called Mark West, established 1978, which was the year that I was born. It's Cabernet Sauvignon from California, and the year's 2021. Probably around $10, and it's pretty good. It's going down smooth. So I am struggling for views and likes and followers. And it is a little bit discouraging. But I decided I'm not gonna stop. You know, so I'm gonna keep on going on doing that. I started. I need to see it through. The hopes is to make a little bit of money, so I need views, I need followers, I need likes, whatever it is. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok and YouTube. You can look me up as, in all of them, Independent Woman with Wine. Today I'm gonna talk about lying, as in not telling the truth. I long time ago I had a hard time with lying. I always thought I had to be honest, with everything in my life. I have to be honest with people. As I got older, I started realizing that sometimes I have to lie. And now I'm at a point that I have no problem lying, you know, to avoid some confrontation, or haven't had to lie to get out of a ticket. But I don't know if that happens and if I'm gonna lie, because I am very intimidated by police officers. No, there's no warrant for me anywhere, but I am an immigrant, and for a while I was illegal. So I developed this thing, oh my God, there's a policeman, and you were a little bit intimidated. And it's been a while since I got my papers, and no, but I still have this thing, especially when I'm driving. I'm like, oh my God, there's a cop behind me. So I get a little bit of a stress. And then I remember, oh, I have my papers now, so I'm okay. But usually it takes a couple of seconds for me to remember, even though it's been a while. But when you are traumatized so much about a situation, it's kind of hard to let go of that. But going back to the lying thing, so I have no problem to lie of lying now. If for me to get out of confrontation, or to avoid a confrontation, or just simply to get out of a situation, I do. Little white lies. I'm not talking anything major. Like my mom asked, oh, have you been smoking pot? No, mother, I have not been smoking pot. That's a lie, because I've done it, smoking pot. But I have asthma, so in the back of her mind, you cannot do that because you have your asthma. Well, it doesn't matter if you have asthma or not. Smoking, it's not good for you, period. I think I started getting more comfortable with lying when I was working at this school. It was really hard to get time off for anything, because they were always short staff. And even though you have the right to have a personal day, calling sick, but they were all, sometimes they didn't want to pay you. So I started, after a few years, I started lying that I had things going on that I needed to have that day off, for whatever reason. I mean, when you work, you are allowed to have personal day. You're allowed to take a day to do nothing. Like, if you have the right to have that day and it's a paid day, why not take a mental health day? But I could never go to my direct and say, I need a mental health day. Because that she's gonna turn to me and be like, yeah, we don't have the stuff to cover, so no. So all the time, a couple of times I had to lie, and I would come up with something, a doctor's appointment of some kind, so that I would get that time off that I so needed and had the right to it. There's also all the other kinds of lie, like the lie to yourself, I'll do it tomorrow, but then you don't do it, or you pretend you're listening, but you're not really. I mean, they're like, are you listening? I'm like, yeah. And I'm lying about it because I'm not really listening to you, or when a friend, hey, let's do something, on a Wednesday night. And I'm like, no, because I have to work late or whatever, little lies like that, it's just that would avoid turning into a thing. Because if your friend asks you to go out on a Wednesday night, I'm sorry, I don't really want to go out on a Wednesday night. I'm working all day and I have to work the next day. I don't have it in me to go out on a Wednesday night. You want to go out on a Friday night? I'm all for it, because the next day I get to sleep in. I'm all for that. But no, not in the middle of the week. Sometimes you're late for something, I'm a really punctual person. I'm always on time for everything. But a couple of times in my life, I was late, and I did lie. Oh, I was stuck in traffic. Traffic was so bad. Or I've done the whole being late on purpose because I'm mad at something going on. I'm mad at certain situation. I cannot remember specific, but I remember being late on purpose and then lying, saying I got stuck in traffic. I mean, who doesn't do that? I also had to lie to people about the food that they made, that it wasn't really tasty, to me. But I'm like, yes, oh my God, it was so good, because that person put time and work into making that food, so you don't want to disappoint them, so you end up lying. So this kind of a lie, little white lies, or buying something and being a little ashamed of the price, and either saying was cheaper or saying it was more expensive, But the biggest lie that I feel that I tell over and over and over again is when I either run into someone or anybody asks, oh, hi, how are you? And I'm like, I'm good. And I am not. I am way too far from good. But we lie saying, I'm good, because do that person really want to hear that I'm not really good? No. They're just being polite. So yeah, that's the biggest lie I think all of us probably tell. And some of us probably do that every day. I don't say that I lie about that every day, because some days I am good, but sometimes I am not. But I will just keep on pretending that I am. So yeah, so those are the lies. So if you get to hear this podcast, or if you see the video or whatever, I don't know, but if you make it to the end, please share with me what are some of the lies that you tell in life to either avoid confrontations or get out of a ticket, or something. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to end this podcast/video with this meme. How do you know it's time to do the dishes? When all of your wine glasses are dirty. All right, I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Until next time.